Physical media man, physical media man, physical media man. What'd you buy? Was it something good?
What's up, guys? Physical Media Man back here again for another Physical Media Man Monday video. I've been running out of ideas and I've been meaning to do this for so long. I'm going to talk about my old college course, Comm 240, Introduction to Film. I finally went upstairs into the attic and went through my college stuff, and I found my syllabus and a couple papers and things, and I'm going to discuss those movies and, or at least a little bit about the class and the movies. So, and then a little bit more. But yeah, anyways, before I get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave feedback, do all that good stuff down below. I'll leave the links to my Instagram page, my Physical Media Man Store Instagram page, my Facebook page for the Physical Media Man / Physical Media Man Store, my Facebook page for non-media related items, the Hodgepodge Garage, my email, my eBay, my Twitter, and my Letterboxd account. So yeah, I've been meaning to do this for the longest time, at least a couple of years, I feel like. Going up into the attic, I knew I had a box with a bunch of stuff from college, and luckily I still had this because I thought I did. One of the main reasons I wanted to do this before I talk too much more was there was a film I felt like I really liked, and it was a foreign film, and I could never remember the name of it, so I was hoping to find it. Yeah, but anyways, so here's my syllabus. So yeah, this was from fall 2010. And so here we go. The first film, which I have quite a few of these. I think I had watched a couple of them for sure going into the class. But this was one of my favorite classes in college. A really fun class, and some of my favorite things to do school-wise was to write papers, and then I love movies, so it's a perfect combination there. But I really kind of, I already liked movies then, but this class really made my love for movies even more. So first up, we watched Terry Gilliam's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas from 1998. I swore I had the Criterion DVD set of that, but I can't find it anywhere. A good movie. Not one of my favorites, but I do like it a decent amount. So yeah, that was August 25th. Then September 1st, which I also want to try to find. It looked like from the syllabus here, there was a required text. James Monaco, How to Read a Film, Movies, Media, and Beyond, which I'm sure I purchased, but I didn't keep going once I found my folder, so I don't know if it was in there or not, or if I sold it after I was done with the class or what. But anyways, yeah. So yes, then September 1st, we had a lecture and discussion, and then there was a screening of Stand By Me, which I've only seen a couple times, but I really like. Of course, the Stephen King adaptation, directed by Rob Reiner, great coming-of-age film. So really enjoyed that one. And then September 8th, we had a lecture discussion, and then a screening of Day for Night, a French film from 1973. That one I didn't really remember too much, but I went and watched the trailers, and I've placed holds on these from the library. I might try to purchase copies of these down the line. It'd be neat to have all this together. But yeah, I remember it being good, but I don't really. I feel like when I looked all this stuff up, everything was at least like in the 7 range, so, or higher. So all good films. Next up, September 15th, we had another lecture discussion. Then we watched Chinatown, which was my first time watching this fantastic film. And this was probably the first Roman Polanski film I'd ever watched. And you're going to see a recurring theme here through the rest of the syllabus. But yeah, Such a great movie. And then September 22nd, we had another lecture discussion. And then we had a screening of The Grocer's Son, another French film. This one from 2007. This one I remember it even more than The Day for Night. And remember it being very, very enjoyable, very good film. And that's one I don't have. And then we had another lecture discussion, September 29th. Analysts due on Chinatown. So here I wrote my paper on Chinatown. That be the final one. So it looks like I got a B on my paper here on Chinatown. So pretty neat to still have this. I'm going to put it, I have a shelf over here that has movie books and stuff. I'm going to put this folder with that. I'm ridiculous, I know. And then we did a screening of In Bruges, which was the very first time I watched this film. Amazing film. I feel like this wasn't talked about too much, especially at the time. So yeah, this was 2010, and this movie came out in 2008. Really good film. If you haven't seen it, definitely worth checking out. And then at one point I saw, and I got some paperwork in here too, that was like comparing that and Chinatown and one of the other films I'm getting ready to talk about here. Then we did another lecture on discussion on October 6th, and then a screening of The Graduate, which was my professor, which I guess I haven't mentioned his name yet. I did send him an email today after finding all this, asking if he happened to know the other films we watched. I also, if I do ever start my interview series, I did ask if he would be willing to come on the show, because he obviously loves film, and I think it would be a good discussion, and we could discuss some of the class, and he's still at the same university that I went to back then, so yeah, this was one of his favorites, The Graduate. So then we did another lecture discussion on editing and narrative on October 13th, within a screening of Pulp Fiction, which I shockingly, when I was getting all these movies together, didn't have this on Blu-ray. I thought I did. And then now I think about it, did I upgrade to... and I don't have it on 4K either, so I need to upgrade. But this is a really neat 2-disc DVD set of it anyways. That was the other main movie we watched where we had to write a paper. So then, and then it was, the final was one of the questions, at least this, I don't have the final, obviously, but there was like a final, oh, where did that go? Final exam study questions, and one of them was, here we go. We watched the film In Bruges. Where did that go? I'm sorry, now oh, here we go. We watched several films that center on criminal activity. In Bruges, In Bruges, Chinatown, and Pulp Fiction are at least three we watched. How would you compare these three films? Do you believe they really all belong in the same genre? So, yeah. They are pretty similar. I don't know. I would say yes, I think. But yeah, all really good films. Anyways, back to the syllabus here. And on October 20th, we watched Roman Polanski, Wanted and Desired, which was more of a documentary, I believe. So some more Roman Polanski. Then October 27th, we had another lecture discussion, then a screening of Roman Polanski's Repulsion, which I don't remember, which maybe we watched. Now I want to say we watched Rosemary's Baby instead, because I don't remember Repulsion. And I know we watched Rosemary's Baby. and then our Analyst 2 was due, and I gave Pulp Fiction an A. And I got a B+ on my paper. Think how much I love movies, I get A's on these, but B and B+. I don't know what my final grade was in the class, but anyways, then November 3rd, we had another lecture discussion, and then we did a screening of Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, and this was the first time I ever watched this. Very powerful, amazing film. So happy to have it in the collection now. So yeah, this was an eye-opener to some really good films, this class was. It made me think of movies differently. And then November 10th, we did a screening of Roman Polanski's The Ghost Rider. So yeah, I don't know what was up with all the Roman Polanski. I don't remember exactly, but I feel like this one's very underrated. Really good film. I'm a big Pierce Brosnan fan, so that helps things, of course, but really well done. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend that one. On November 17th, we did a screening of The Class, a French film from 2008. That one also looked good from the trailer I watched. I don't really remember watching it. And then November 24th, we watched Paris, I Love You. Another one I don't really remember watching. And then December 1st and December 8th are to be announced. So I don't know what we watched. Because I feel like the film that I couldn't think of was an Australian film. And there was a brother that was really into music or something. That's all I can remember. And I don't know if I'm thinking of a different movie, but I could have sworn there was something that I really liked in this class that then I forgot the name of and could never figure out. So yeah, I emailed him and asked him about that and if he would come on the show if I end up starting a interview series. But yeah, I've been wanting to go through this folder for a long time and see what all I watched. And like I said, that was one of my favorite classes in college, and it was really neat to watch a lot of different movies that I wouldn't have probably seen. Well, maybe eventually, but and look at movies a little differently and kind of break them down more and do a more in-depth look than just sitting down and watching them. So yeah, did you have a class like this? If you did, let me know. But yeah, hopefully he gets back with me and I can at least figure out what that that film was that I can't think of. But yeah, I'm really happy I held on to this stuff, and it'll be going over there on the shelf. And I might try to get the rest of the films that I don't have from that class and get them physically and add them to the collection once the buying freeze is over, whenever that'll be. I'm guessing, I don't know if some of these other ones have Blu-rays. I feel like that Paris I Love You, I'm pretty sure is well regarded and had a big release and has a Blu-ray. On the other ones, I'm not so sure. Day for Night or The Grocer's Son, I know it at least has a DVD, so hopefully I'll be able to track those down, as well as the Roman Polanski Wanted and Desired, which I remember some of that, but not a lot. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. It was a fun look back down memory lane for me. It's hard to believe it's been that long since I've been out of college. Well, that wasn't my last year, but anyways, hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't yet done so, please make sure to subscribe. This is the Physical Media Man signing off. Physical media will never die. All right. So yeah, I know I already did my outro, but yeah, thanks again to Dr. Vincent, my great professor and one of my favorite classes. So if you somehow end up watching this, thank you again. So yeah, Physical media will never die. Physical media man. Physical media man. Physical media man.